Today, we've got a very special guest joining us. Please join us in welcoming in Phoenix Suns shooting guard Damion Lee joining the show now. Damion, how you doing? Thanks for joining us.
I'm good. Thank y'all for having me. Just trying to stay cool. I missed the heat wave, so glad about that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say you missed it.
I mean, the thick of it.
Yeah.
107 is totally different than 117, that's for sure. Listen, Damion, first off, congratulations on re-signing with the Suns. We're really excited that you'll be staying here in the Valley as a member of the Phoenix Suns. Can you just kind of take us through that process and what you felt about staying with the team and maybe what they shared with you during those conversations?
Yeah, I mean, it was, thank you for, I had to make sure I get that out. But it was just an opportunity that, I couldn't pass up. Like, obviously being here for a year, got to feel what that love is like here in the Valley. And really just knowing with, obviously new ownership, new coaching staff, and, just the vision that they have going forward was something that I felt like I couldn't pass up. So I'm excited going forward. Obviously, we have some new pieces. I think we have like 4 or 5 guys from last year. So, obviously that'll be a little different, and then with new coaching staff. But at the end of the day, the end goal is to put the ball in the basket and to stop the other team from doing so. So I feel like we'll figure it out when the time's right.
Yeah.
I mean, aside from, we're going to talk about your charity here in a second, but also basketball. How's your off season been? What you been up to? What have you been? How active have you been?
Off season's been good. The month of July, I was moving around a lot. I started off out the country and then came back in the country. And then for the last, the 10th through the 30th, I was on the road. Baltimore, New York, Philly, Louisville, DC, Virginia. I was making my tour dates felt. I'll say that. So, but yeah, it was great. I had stuff with my nonprofit back home. Saw some friends, spent some time with my mom, and then now it's just time to lock down. Get settled in back in this heat before 2 months left.
So you mentioned your nonprofit. Obviously, you've got the foundation going on. For those of you who are not aware in the chat, the L.E.E Foundation is hosting its 2nd annual golf scramble August 7th in Louisville, Kentucky. It is sold out, but you do have a silent auction going on that's available anywhere in the U.S., right?
Yes. So we have that was a great segue, by the way, G. No, yeah. So we do have we have our silent auction that's going on right now. The link is on my Instagram. I posted on Twitter. I also posted on Threads. That's how you know I'm getting real savvy. And as you see, the link is also posted below. But with that, we have so many amazing items, memorabilia, so many experiences that we have. I'll just name off a couple. Signed jerseys from yours truly, from Devin Booker, Steph Curry, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Sabrina Ionescu, Tyrese Halliburton's All-Star Game jersey, Shane Bieber signed baseball jersey, Christian Yelich signed jersey, and then we have a couple of experiences like I mentioned. One with Maker's Mark Distillery, one with 2 tickets to Suns vs. Knicks at Madison Square Garden, and dinner at BLT Prime in New York. So if you want to bid on that, be my guest, and post-game passes as well. And then I think my favorite experience that we have for this year going for this year is a Clase Azul tasting experience.
Okay.
I'm friends with the CEO of the company, Juan Sanchez, and he's someone that I value as a friend, and he offered the experience of you would have to take care of your own airfare and hotels, but it's dinner and Clase Azul tasting up to 8, a one-of-a-kind experience with him at a very exclusive club in San Francisco. That's something that I feel like will be a pretty dope time. That's something I may bid on myself. But, if someone else wants to outbid me, then go for it. But, yeah, just, super excited. The L.E.E the Leeway Foundation has always been about giving back to the underserved. Our target range in the beginning is 6th to 8th grade because we feel like that's when kids are most impressionable, whether that may be bullying, whether that may be whatever their influences are. I was bullied in 6th and 7th grade, so like I understand. But also just using sports, using basketball as a tool to make it out of your situation, to know that you can, use this. It's not, basketball is what you do, not who you are. Or sports to that matter. But just using it for my nonprofit to give back. We've given back to an all-girls school in Louisville. We've invested over $30,000 in that school so far. Giving back to Baltimore, we've done the kids' version of like sip and paint with schools, with mental health seminars, with and then now the 2 regions that we're looking at investing our nonprofit in that community is Philadelphia, which I went to school at, and then also here in Phoenix. So there will be many more things coming here in the Phoenix area for the upcoming holidays as well as going forward in the future.
Yeah, so this is an amazing initiative to get behind. If you guys have some extra dollars or you got your eye on some of these things that are up for auction, definitely get in on the action. Like Damion said, all of his social media, you can find the link on. We've shared it in the chat. We'll share it on social as well, so you can find it there. But you kind of brought it up a little bit. You touched on the bullying that you kind of had to endure when you were younger, but was that one of the driving forces, or what was the driving force between creating the Leeway Foundation and then choosing these kind of initiatives that you chose to give back to?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of that, just understanding how impressionable kids are at that age. Like I could have went down a different road then, but thanks to my family and friends, they all kept me on more of the straight and narrow path. But it's pretty ironic. My mom always wanted to start a nonprofit. And my mom is a veteran. She was in the Persian Gulf War in '91. So she was over there. And then she happened to have me in '92. So for her, she wasn't able to fulfill her dream of that. So this is also something that's her baby as well, that she's able to live. Actually, we're able to live through it together. But just starting the idea of wanting to give back and trying to find ways to help give back to the kids is something that's always been near and dear to me. And we started this 6 years ago just with an idea. And we've done so many amazing things, like I've mentioned, previously. But to have my mom on board as, co-founder and something that, I'm not going to say my age, that'll put too many things together. But, just where I am in my life and where she is, just letting this be kind of her baby and her spearheading a lot of those things it's what brings true joy to me, because I know we have the same vision when it comes to the foundation.
At what point of your career did you realize, like, as a basketball player, you go through and everything's kind of focused around you, going up through AAU, high school, college, the focus is you. And then you get to the NBA and yes, you're making more money, but the lifestyle also provides you more opportunity to do things in the community. When did you first kind of realize, was there another teammate or something like that kind of like illuminated the other side of sports and the ways you can give back?
I wouldn't even necessarily say it was a teammate. I've kind of always been that way. Like you can ask my friends, like I don't know what clicked. It was like in high school, I guess, once I transferred from one high school to another, going into my junior year. Like I felt like I was in more of a toxic environment my first 2 years of high school. And then once I went to the other high school, I kind of realized, like, how to be personal to people, how to be like welcoming, how to be accepting. I mean, I'm sarcastic, so like that's never gonna leave. But just finding ways how to like relate to people. And my mom would always say growing up, like everyone in this life has a job, and I never really understood that until I started to get through my later years of high school, going away for prep school, and then going to college. Like one of my close friends, I joke about it, but it's like I kind of helped like feed him through college. Like he had a lot of student loans, had like a lot of debt, and we had like these swipe cards at Drexel where we would get like 2,500 because we had quarters, so instead of like semesters, so it was 10-week quarters. And we had like $2,500 like each quarter to like buy food and like don't worry, I don't think you could do that now. There's some things back then that you can't do now, so I'm open and talking about it. But yeah, like I would have probably like $1,200-1,300 left over from each quarter, and I'd be like, I'm not gonna spend it. There's 2 weeks left. Like, bro, just get whatever you want. Like, do whatever you want to do. So, just from that, and then like all my friends, my families know like the three things that I'm passionate about, which I'm now able to like put into words, are relationships/friendships. Like I learned that in 10th grade. The number one thing in business is relationships. Like it doesn't matter how much money you have, like the highest you are to the lowest you are. It's that community. Like that's obviously something I've always been big on. Like I try to make people and treat people to feel the same way, as if like, even if they aren't where I am in my quote unquote status, but that they can feel like they are a part of it. And bringing people together, whether it's my Drexel family, my Louisville family, my son's family, and then experiences. That's like one of the biggest things, because money can't buy that. Like, sure, the money comes, it goes. Don't get it twisted. I love my job. I have an amazing job. I'm going to do it for as long as I can. But it's the experiences that you have with it. So like those three things are the three things that like our nonprofit are like built on, like the foundational pieces of that, and truly the foundational pieces of like who I am as a person and what I do in my everyday life.
Damion, you mentioned your son's family and friendships and relationships being important to you. Obviously, very different Suns team coming in this upcoming season. How have you enjoyed getting to know Frank Vogel so far, and what are your impressions of him to this point?
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, every time I see Coach, it's just a joy. I mean, for me, it's like the reality is I get to do what I do on a daily basis. I'm playing a kid's game, and I get to travel the world and play. And then I'm around people, coaching staff, teammates, players that all feel the same way. Like we all come in with that joy of like, all right, like what's the plan today? Like what are we doing? How are we trying to get better? And like Coach has that every single day. Every single time I've seen him, it's always like, what's up, D-Lee? How's it going? What's this? What's that? And it's obviously, there's that learning stage of trying to learn people, but when you've been in this business long enough, you can kind of sift through all the stuff that like is true and genuine and the stuff that's fake. And Coach has been nothing but genuine, at least from what I've heard, from what I've seen, and I'm excited to play for him.
He's genuine as hell, from what we could tell. He even
We
gave
love
me a
him.
nickname, so I'm like, let's go, baby. I'm ready. Hey, so
go.
when you look back on this season, obviously 3-point shooting was kind of your forte this season. What else have you taken away from last season in order to prepare for the next one, in terms of some of the things that you'd like to tweak about your own game?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just the consistency, just like continuing to be consistent. I feel like that's something that, I obviously see my shirt, my brand, Daily Deposit Crew, like every day is going in and getting the work in. But yeah, it's just a consistency of doing what I do at a high level, knowing we have a different team, knowing every night a different role may be asked of you, of what to do and what to bring to the team. So for me, it's not buying it, but it's honoring that and just continuing to do that every night. I mean, I'm going into my 7th year. I know what my strengths are. Like I know what I can do out there. I know what some of my not so much strengths are. I'm not going to say the W word because there's no point in like that's pointless. I mean, I'm a very optimistic person. But just seeing what I can do, how I can help the guys be better, how I can be better, and just how I can learn and continue to grow. Like you said, it's a new team. We got 4 or 5 guys back from last year. So that's 10, 11 new guys, whole new coaching staff. It's going to blend together and gel when it does. But just finding ways. Like I'm big on film. I love studying the game. I love, like I said, finding ways for myself to get better and even to help other guys. But not step on anyone's toes. But I just love this game so much. It's like you have to try to find ways to get better.
Yeah.
Sounds like you are just as excited as we are for this season to finally be here and tip off. Plus, the heat will be gone by then. Fingers crossed, anyway. And things will just be like, we'll just be in a really good spot.
Yeah,
everybody will be much happier and excited and all the things. Damion, thank you so much.
We do have a super chat for you though, real quick.
I got like 10 minutes. So
are you down to hang out longer?
Heck yeah.
There we go.
It's up to y'all. If I got 10 minutes.
Listen,
we can go all day.
I just wanted to be cognizant of your time, but if you want to hang for 10 minutes, Let's you. Let's do it.
So DC in our chat gave us a super chat, $9.99. Thanks, DC. He said, D. Lee, we see you, champ. Stay strong. You inspire the Valley with your impeccable patience. And then a couple emojis with your basketball. So
yeah,
I appreciate it. Hey, if you DC, if you want, shameless plug. There's some Daily Deposit Crew. You can go to dailydepositcrew.com if you want. As you see below, there's also the bids. If you want to bid for anything that we have going on for the silent auction. But yeah, if good DDC drip, I'm telling you.
Okay, so then since we got a few more minutes, I know Gerald asked you about Frank Vogel and Saul. You guys were kind of talking about how it's all going to come together. What about Bradley Beal? When you heard the news that Bradley Beal was coming to the Suns, what was your initial reaction? And then now that you've had some more time, how excited are you to see it really kind of come together?
And what did y'all do in Vegas? That's what I want to know.
Let's see. All right, let's talk about the Brad. I was just like everyone else. I was like, who's going? Like, y'all saw the thing where Brad was like, so y'all trading Book for me? Because that's what most people thought. Yeah, I was excited, but also I was a free agent then, so I was kind of like, I was going into free agency then, so I was kind of like, is this going to affect me? Like, what's going to happen? Like, but then things happen the way that they're supposed to. And what happened in Vegas, I was in Vegas for 16 hours. Went to the game, saw Brad-ish, J.O. That night, left, went to the Usher concert. Phenomenal, by the way. I don't know if y'all went.
I have heard so many good things about this Usher concert. So many good things.
Usher concert was through the roof. It was amazing. I think he still has residency till like October. So if you have a weekend or you have some time, go. But I'm there at the concert and I see like down and like 3 rows over is Brad and his wife, and I was like, oh, that's dope. He was like, yeah, I gotta leave. Cause he left the game early too. He's like, yeah, I gotta leave the game. I gotta go to this Usher concert. So that was my night in Vegas. I left the Usher concert, went back to the hotel, got some pizza, came home.
There you go.
There you go. That's the best way to do Vegas. 16 hours is ideal.
In and out.
In and out.
I wish we were only there for 16 hours.
Yeah.
I don't know how rough after day 2.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know how y'all do over 48 hours. That is a no.
That's not a great call. You mentioned it though. How have you been enjoying getting to know some of your teammates? I know in the off season, everybody's kind of all over the place and spending some time away from basketball, but have you been able to talk with some of the guys and get to know them a little bit?
If I see a guy in the facility, like when I'm in, I'll talk to him. But it's funny. People said the same thing about me last year when I first signed. They were like, oh, did you talk to CP? Did you talk to Book? Did you talk to Mikhail? I'm like, I'm going to see them in September, and I'm going to spend 9 months with them. So from that point on, like, it's like I don't feel as pressed to, obviously, like, reaching out, like, of course, like, that's, like, mandatory. Got to reach out, got to, like, hey, what's up? This my number. But outside of that, it's like, we're going to spend 9 months together. Like, I'm going to spend more time with them than I'm spending with my wife, my son, and my newborn. So, you know what I'm saying? The relationship's going to grow organically. And then, like, we all have a common goal, which is like, yeah, it's a job, but we all want to compete for the common goal, which is to be the last team standing. So, I'll see guys in next month or 2, and then, it's always love.
It's time to get it. Yeah,
absolutely.
Exactly.
One question I do have, just from the athlete side of things, you came from Golden State, and then as you mentioned a few minutes ago about, just kind of be on on the edge, not knowing if you're coming back or if you're going to a different team or whatever, however this works out. How does your family kind of work through that process as well? Like your wife, your kids, you know, trying to figure out like, I only put myself in that position. Like if I was in limbo, like not knowing what's going on, I know my wife would be asking me a million questions, like what's happening, what's the latest, blah 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 blah. You know, I don't know. You know, and so I always want to know what's that side like.
He
laughs immediately, which means
I'm laughing because it's like twofold. Like, I mean, my wife's been around it for 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
She understands, but then like she was with me when I was in Maine, when I was in Santa Cruz, and she was living in Oakland, and she was driving an hour and a half, 2 hours down to come see a game, and I'm staying out of like the motel. So like for me, it's like she like just let me know what's concrete. Let me know what the final 3 is. We'll talk about it. We'll make the decision. Whatever you want to do, let's do it. Like she don't really trip off it because like I said, she's been around it for 30 years. So, well, she's not 30 yet, but you know what I mean. Her family's been in it for over that period of time, and for her, she's just like, all right, you just tell me what to do. Well, not tell me what to do, but you just let me know what we're gonna do. I'll ask pros, I'll ask cons, and she like if we moving and if we going to another city, let's figure it out. How we gonna get the cars there? How we gonna get the kids there? What we gonna do at the house?
She brings the calm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they always do.
Well, the crazy thing is like we both calm, but she's like ultra calm. I'm like calm, but you know I'll get there. Especially in between the lines, I can get there. But yeah, she's just like, all right.
I love that.
What were the pros for Phoenix?
We ain't have to move.
That's a positive.
That's one.
Yeah.
And then just like we know the environment, we're familiar here. Like we bought our home here, so this is like our first like family home. But I mean that's honestly like number one. Like, in fact, we didn't have to move. Like when we lived in the Bay, we moved. Besides living out of the like hotel, then we lived out of motel, then out the hotel. Then we moved like 5 times in like 4 years.
Damn.
Sheesh.
And I don't know if y'all know, but excuse my French, but the Bay is expensive as hell.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. So like you get in like a 1,800 square foot, 3-bedroom, 2-bath apartment for like 6,500, like over 6,000 a month. That's ridiculous.
No sir.
No backyard.
Super nice house here in Phoenix with a big old backyard and a pool.
You feel
Living
me?
good
Like
out here. Yeah.
That's crazy.
so, like that's the thing of like, shoot, we got great home. Like I mean, hey, we ain't have to move. That's the pro.
Yep.
That's the pro, and that's the second pro.
Yeah,
There you go.
absolutely.
There you go.
All right, I'm going to switch it up a little bit. Obviously, yesterday we saw that the Suns released some new jerseys for the upcoming season. We got the white one on the table. You can't really see it, but there's a purple one up there. Did you see them, and what did you think?
Yeah, they fire.
There we go.
Fire. I was gonna say a dad joke, but I'll save that for later. But
Listen, you're in good company.
You haven't heard this podcast before. I promise you that.
This is the dad joke of them all.
I'm guilty, and I'm not even a father. So
Yeah,
I have no
yeah.
right. But
He's doing his
Yeah,
pre-dad work right now. So
yeah, I've been mixing up my dad jokes for like the last 5 years. So no, but they're fire. I mean, I think I saw what they're like. I mean, obviously they're the newer sunburst ones. I just wonder what's gonna happen. Like, are we keeping the black? Like this? I mean, do y'all know? I don't know.
yeah.
Are we keeping the black ones?
Yeah, so you're keeping the black ones, and then you guys will have a new city one, I think, that you'll probably be wearing for like around the play-in tournament in November. So
Is
you got
that like
the mid-season
is
tournament,
that the
the
El
mid-season.
Valle? El Valle.
I think so, but we
El
haven't
Valle?
seen it.
Wow.
Yeah, they haven't
Yeah.
revealed it yet, but we'll see what it looks like.
the El
Yeah, I
Valle
don't know
would
what
go super hard, and I know a lot of people have already talked about that, but we don't.
I heard
we
it's
couldn't
gonna be
confirm.
like kind of like a dark blue with.
All
like
I know is
orange.
that
That's what I heard. I don't know. It's the
all
Can't
I
say that.
know is that you are keeping the black one from last year. You've got the 2 that they released yesterday, and then there's one that has not been released yet that won't come out until November. So that one's still under wraps.
Yeah.
And then the
Sorry.
originated, the turquoise one from last year, that one's gone.
Sorry.
So
Yeah,
we're
it's lower.
excited to see what the rest of them all kind of look like coming together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But these
I
two
just saw.
are dope.
Sorry, I just saw on Twitter, so I didn't know.
Oh, it's all good.
I don't know
We
officially.
don't know either.
I'm just trying to keep
Okay,
you safe.
yeah.
If you just saw it on Twitter, then that's all. That's good.
We were
No,
just like,
I'm like,
oh,
I
man.
don't want D. Lee to drop anything that we weren't supposed to know.
No, not at all. It's the what's Suns uniform
Uni
tracker?
Yeah.
Yo,
Okay.
locked
Okay.
in.
Okay, then we're all good because I was like, please don't
Yeah.
tell me that you're spilling the
No.
tea here on our show.
I'm like, oh,
We're gonna
no,
get
no,
in
no,
trouble.
no.
uniforms, yo.
I was like, I don't know what they look like, but I
No,
don't want you
make
to
sure.
get in trouble.
Make sure y'all know that is we ain't having no sound bites. The full clip is
Yes.
Suns Uni Tracker. Put it out, and that's where all information is sourced from.
Okay.
You could tell Lindsay's a pro because she was like, let me cut him off right now.
Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah, that's
Don't
that's
I'm
all.
just like, I'm trying
That's
to keep
all Twitter.
peace.
Yeah.
Okay. Then
Don't
that
worry.
makes sense because I feel like we've
Yeah.
all seen those
Yeah,
leaks
yeah.
too. Just nothing has been concrete or confirmed yet, but
Yeah.
we'll
Nah,
see.
yeah.
Don't worry.
Hey, I've been out of town for a month.
Mhm.
Trust me, I ain't got no info. And if I did have it, I ain't leaking it.
Yep.
You're like, I'm just talking about the things that we have all collectively seen together.
telling
you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We'll source you properly. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%.
Make sure.
Damion, I got one last
Well,
question
yeah,
before we
no.
let you go. I know that last season you came out on fire, and then as the year went on, your minutes kind of fluctuated. It happened to a lot of people. It happens a lot in this league. But what's the one thing heading into next season, aside from the 3-point shooting, that you feel like people should know about your game and what you bring to the table?
I mean, I play hard every night.
Hmm.
Like that's like, I feel like that's a skill. Like I feel like I know the game at a high level. It's funny, you see like the Twitter GMs and like the Instagram people that kind of like say like, oh, it doesn't know basketball, it doesn't know, but it's like I study the game at a high level. I'm very receptive of information of my teammates and knowing what I can do, but like I play hard every single night. Like and all I want to do is win. Like I don't care about the credit. Like I know what I do, and I know what I do at a high level. I don't care about the credit. I want to win, and when my career is done, I want to be known as a winner. So I feel like that's what I try to bring. I don't know if that fully answers it, but like at the end of the day, like I just want to be known as a winner. Like that's it. I don't want to leave this league without, whatever it is. I want to win, and I play hard every night, and I'm selfless, and I play for my team. But I also know what I do at a high level.
Absolutely.
There we go.
D. we're so excited for this upcoming
Thanks, brother.
season. Literally cannot wait. Cannot come soon
Yes.
enough. Thank you again so much for hanging out with us. This has been a blast. Everybody in the chat has nothing but amazing things to say about you. So if you need a pick me up anytime because of the heat,
Hey, I
just got you
appreciate
down,
it.
keeping you inside the house, go read the chat. They're all here for you.
Gotta
So-
run it back.
Absolutely. Thank you again. Enjoy the rest of your off season. Best of
Yes.
luck with the golf scramble and, of course, the auction. One more time, we did put the link again in the chat. Make sure you guys go check that out and give it some
Yes.
love on social media too.
Yes, go check it out. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Let's have some fun this year. So let's
Let's
do
go.
it. Y'all see it. Y'all see it below. Auction. Send it off. Send it everywhere. Let's do it. Let's have some fun. Appreciate
Yes.
it.
Appreciate you.
Bye,
Thanks.
D. Lee.